Hello, everyone. Let's make a chit chat talk. It's just about my life. This week in our company, there has a fight between the formal employer and the informal employer. So there is in Japan they call it arbeit. There is a French word that called it informal employer. So the formal employer and informal employer, they always have something just have the value crash. So they always have a different thinking about all the things. So they get a fight. So that makes us just very embarrassed because they are just fighting, but we are just watching them. So we don't have any idea and don't have any words for them. So we see the fight happening and just see the fight over. And finally, the informal employer is just get a final day in the company. So he just left the company. So because they are almost 25 years old, they are just very young in my eyes because this year I will become 42 years old. So I will be, maybe 18 years old than the 25 years old. So just to go back to the time machine, I want to just make the time go back to um, 18 years old before. So if I just want to say something to the 25 years old myself, so what kind of thing I would say to myself, and what kind of child this will be in my eyes in my 42 years. So I just think about that, and I really want to make a video about that. So of course, I want to make it in English and in Japanese and finally in Chinese. So these three videos just made it to just yes, for the 25 years old myself and just for the now become 25 years old young people. And I will think that's my experience, and maybe that's my word to myself. So maybe it will be worse for somebody. They listen to this kind of experience, they will just get something understanding and just to go to see this world in the major way. So of course, it's not working. The possibility of the it's not working. It's yes, it's still it exists, but well, I just want to. I have too many things to say for 25 years old myself, so I just want to make a video. So go back to the fight. So in the informal informal employment employee, they just think that the work is so boring, so it just repeated and again, and something is the formal employee they don't want to do and just give it to you, and it's just hard work and it's just not funny and it's not creative, and they think they're just wasting their time. So they have a lot of thinking for the company, so they just want to think, okay, the boss of the company is just taking value of us, just want to make money from our work, from our labor. So they hate this company and they think they just not get fair treated, and they want to just maybe get some kind of a way to show their personality. So finally they just get a fight with a formal employee. But the formal employee, they get the wrong place. It's just about you cannot use the justice just to judge people. You maybe think that working hard is a very good habit for the employee, but you have to think that some people it just to go to work and they just don't want to work hard. They just want to get a very relaxed environment, and they don't want to be lose their freedom. So if the boss in the company is saying that you are just breaking the rules, so we have to just judge you or something else, maybe that's a boss judgment. So that you should support it. But if the boss doesn't do it, you don't have the right to do it because it's not your business. Even if you are right, even if you know that it's a very profit for your boss, but you should not just make yourself in front of that kind of crash. So that is a very risky thing for all the life. So um, in fact, in this fight, the informal employee and the formal employee, they also have some kind of a wrong place to blame. But finally, the most wrong thinking is about that work it's being boring or something like that. In fact, in 25 years old, when I was in 25 years old, I really know the formal employees feeling, because I feel the work is boring. I want to just make more time for myself. And I think that I'm not working. That shows that I was very skillful, that I do anything it's faster than other people. I'm just know a very smart way just to get my way in a very, in a very special way, and just to make I'm different, make I'm special people. So work hard doesn't makes me special. So I just feel that everybody can work hard. So why I should work hard? I would just make a lot of theory that says that if you work hard, that means you are not work smart. So all the people just use all their time in the work and just work a lot and just wasting their life. And I was not. I was the one that don't want to waste my life. So I just make my life a creative. So I was just escaped from all the boring works, or just do it for one time. I remember all the boring work, so I think I just learn it, and I just don't need to do more about that. So I think I was a very skillful worker. So in fact, I was graduated from a very good school, so very good university. So this kind of thinking is always in my mind when I was 25 years old. So I was very understanding the feeling about informal employee, but finally I just get the point, because I was 42 years old, and I get back to my own history and get back to my own life. I see something that's just cannot be seen when I was 25 years old. I want to told myself that, in fact, if you feel your work it's boring, it's not because the work is boring. It's just that you are a boring person. You know, in fact, all the work is boring. No matter what kind of work you are doing, when you be hired for some kind of company and they just pay money for your, labor, the work should be very boring, because if you are not repeated again and again, you cannot be skillful. So why I should pay somebody for their unskillful skill? I want to pay money to the professional. What means pro? What make you professional? The boring makes you professional. So in fact, oh, when you in accounting, maybe you just check all the checkbook and check all the receipts. It seems very boring, but if you're doing this work very good and you're doing it well, you're doing it no, perfectly, and doing it fast and doing it in your own creative way. If you can do it, it can not be boring. You can just you know get a very high valued from other people. Other people just think you are very skillful, so you can learn something more difficult. And if you learn the more difficult thing and you just solve the problem, and you have a soft way to solve all the thing, and just get very get a very high reputation in your work, then you can get more difficult work. So when you can do more and more difficult work, and the work become more difficult, so it become so use your brain. You have to solve all the very difficult and complicated problem. And if you can solve the complex complex problem that just makes you very seems to be creative. What makes you creative? Experience makes you makes you creative. So just imagine that if you just go to a basketball and you want to say, hey, and give me the ball and I will get the freedom just to judge this game, and I will just take this game to the winning corner, and I will just make a very good shot, and I will be a star. But you don't practice. You don't do the boring basic practice. How can you become a star? How can you become creative? For example, we say LeBron James or maybe Luka Doncic. They seems to be very creative in all the ways, but finally, if you are a person, you are a human, you are Homo sapiens in this world, and you don't practice, how can you play basketball? No one is so talented that you don't touch the basketball and you will become talent player. No, no one can be that. Even you are the most talented person in this world, you don't touch the basketball, you cannot get skillful. So, what makes a talented person doing the creative job? It's not just because they are talents, it's because they doing the same boring work, but doing the boring work is better than you and become a very superstar. So if you feel boring, well, I would told you that's just because the boss and your senior, they don't give you the very important work because they think you have no responsibility for anything. You don't take responsibility, and you just away. You just escape all the things and just make a lot of reason to not do work, and not work hard in your company and something like that. Your reputation is very low, so you have to doing more and more boring job and to get their credits, but they just don't believe in you, so they don't give you work. If they give you some kind of difficult work, you cannot do it and you don't know how to solve the problem, so they just think, okay, I will just give you more simple and boring work and see did you can that makes you don't make a risk for our company, so you have to go back to a boring work. So finally, if you are not a boring person, you have a very creative way and you can just make your work become so different from the others. So even doing the boring work, you are doing better than others. So then you can become creative. That's the only way you make your work become funny, and you make you like your work and make you think that work is worth you to do. That's the only way in your life. So if you are in 25 years old, I'm talking to myself. When you think the work is boring, it's just because you are not skillful. You don't have the talent and you are not doing good. Or the person between you, they may be just laughing at you. They just don't show it to you, and they don't think you are just responsible, and you don't have you know, the skill to do the very complex work. So that's the only reason that you just trapped in your own place. If you're trapped in your own place, then you will become boring. And when you become boring, you have to do the boring work. So all the things happen in this world, it just shows that if you want to become creative, first of all, you have to know what means creative. It freedom doesn't means creative. If you think that I can do what I do, and that means creative, no, that's not what means creative. Just that you are doing the boring job, and the boring job you are doing correctly, and you don't have wrong, you perfectly, correctly, perfectly, and fastly, and you become so good at a boring job, so we call you creative. That's the only meaning about that. You think about the music is creative, music is freedom, or you think that drawing is creative, or drawing is very useful, or you like it. But finally, we only have the one answer for creative. No matter drawing or music, they just need a lot of repeated and boring job, and just make a lot of practice and repeat it once and once again, and you can become creative. That's the only way you become creative. No one can just no one can make a drawing without a lot of practice. No one can make a good musician without good practicing. A lot of person is make a lot of practicing, they still cannot make a good drawing, and they still cannot become a very good musician. It's just that what makes you different, that means talent. So talent person, the skill for one, they are not just doing, they are just not just the one that escaped the boring job. It's just the facing the boring job and made it better than the others, so they become creative. So that's the only reason for the creative. So if you want to have a creative in your job, you have to be a creative person. You have doing something that's so special, and make you different from others. And the difference from others, it's not just escape from the boring job. It's just facing the boring job and just conquer it, and become more than the boring job. Makes a boring job become funny. That's the only way to make the job creative. So that's a very good letter. I want to send it to the 25 years old myself. I think if I heard that and I really understand the 42 years old me, it's saying that for their own heart, and it's a very real experience in the 18 years old, 18 years, 18 years. So maybe I would just, save a lot of time, and save a lot of just the energy to do the stupid things. So okay, I will get a little bit of regret for my for my 18 years old, for my 18 years, for my last 18 years. So that's what I want to say to the to myself. Well, even it can help somebody, but maybe it cannot. So well, today's talk is over here. So thank you for watching it. So if the 25 years old can see this video, I want you to see it to the end. So thank you. Bye bye.